All right, this is a video. It's a how-to video, and there's two audiences. One is the Pittsburgh home team advantage to explain what we want to do in Latin Lattes, and my second audience is the staff of CCI Latin America. So the Pittsburgh home team advantage also includes Grant Smith and his faithful visualizer, and just to see if he can help me visualize in any way. So the idea is for Latin Lattes, it's going to be September 9th from 7 to 9 at Memorial Park Church. And throughout the evening, we'll have different activities. And in my desire to explain, it's going to be a very forward-looking state of the mission. Last year, it was more of a somewhat of a present and backward-looking as to what the Lord has done over the years. And this one is where we headed for the future. And so it has some particular emphasis in my department, which is the development, Department of Leadership Development and within Christian Camping International in Latin America. So one of the things I want to do is how the focus looking ahead for CCI is the development of a team of writers. And writing is a bit hard to explain. So I've created some props, and what I want to do is I want to go through these props and explain what it is and the importance of forming writers. And before I get into the presentation of the visual presentation, we are going to be explaining that through a game the importance of technical writers. And so we're going to give them like a set of props at each of the tables. And the set of props are going to be put on the table. We're going to say to the people, all right, you've got 5 minutes. Go ahead and play this game. And then we're going to move away, and the people are going to be looking at the props and trying to figure out how it is that they have to play this game. They have to finish. And within a few minutes, they're going to be experiencing a certain level of frustration. And at that point, I'll say, so what's the problem? And they'll probably answer, what are the instructions? How do you play this game? And so I would say, well, what would make it easier? And they would say, give us the instructions. And so at that point, I would say, that's why developing writers is so important. Because for one, writers create a roadmap. And so they create a roadmap, they write instruction, they will develop curriculum for training, so that knowledge isn't dying with the first use. If there's a great idea, it's used further on for other generations of campers and leaders. And so it's just a very small experiential moment of seeing the importance in the world of camping of writing. So then I'll hand them out a set of instructions, and they'll be able to play the game. And so at that point, we will go into a visual aid to show exactly how we are hoping to form writers. So we're going to start with the first display. There's going to be 4 different displays. Alrighty, let me explain the setup. We're in Fellowship Hall, and people are in tables, and we have 4 different projectors and 4 different screens. And beside each screen, there'll be a set of props, so that after the presentation, people can go to the different tables and observe. So I will start out in the first station, and the first display here will be those folks will all look at the screen, and on the screen I will do a presentation of about 2 minutes long of video. And there will be children, campers, young people from 12 different countries. And we're going to do cardboard testimonies. And cardboard testimonies take about 15 seconds each, more or less. And so they will be answering the question of, how is my life different now because I went to a Christian camp? And so on the table will be the silhouettes of the different countries where we work and pictures of campers. So that'll be the first presentation to say, this is what we're all about. We're all about transformational learning and deep spiritual growth in the lives of campers. So that will take about 2 minutes. Then the people will remain in their seats and I will proceed to the second screen. The second screen will be trained leaders. And the focus of the second screen will be to show cardboard testimonies, but there'll be 5 testimonies for the 5 different courses, main in-depth courses. And so there'll be trained leaders, again, using the same manner of cardboard testimonies that will basically be saying what impact this course, this training course, has had on my life. And so that'll be the second station. Again, we're looking at about 2 to 3 minutes long. How did the training change my life? And here there will be pictures of the trained leaders on the table for props. At that point, we will move to the third station. Again, the audience on the other screens, there will be the image remaining on the screen. So the projector won't be turned off. On one, it'll be the faces of the campers and the countries. The second screen, the last image will be of the trained leaders. And then they'll turn their attention to the third station. And here will be a pile of about 4,000 pages of material, each representing the training manuals that we have. And on the screen itself, what people will be looking at will be the images of me and my former boss, Bob Sabian. And both of us have been responsible for about 90% of the writing. And so we'll have the American flag, we'll have the 2 images of us, and the gist of it is that Bob is 82, I'm almost 60 at that point, and we need, for this training material, which has been mostly written by North Americans, we need new writers to be able to provide instructions for people to be able to have a quality experience using written material in all the different countries. And so that again will be 2 to 3 minutes. And then this sets us up to move to the empty table, and on the screen will be the image of a silhouette and a question mark. And at that point, I will say around this 4th empty table, in 2024, by God's grace and provision, you will see seated around this table, and I'll be moving seats in there, those writers who God has raised up, and we will see the writings, the documents, and the publications they have created to extend God's kingdom south of the Rio Grande. Now here's the plan. And at that point, this screen will go into a 4-phase plan that we have to be able to fill this table in 5 years.